The highly anticipated fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is heating up as Canelo Alvarez has begun training in preparation for this major showdown. Observing Canelo's intense preparation to be at his best, Caleb Plant expressed confidence in him. He stated that Canelo is approaching this fight differently than in the past, and suggested that, while Canelo may not have initially been enthusiastic about the bout, he's starting to change, no longer looking like the same fighter he once was.
I kind of figured it was going to be like that, honestly. You know, I heard Canelo say in the interview, like, I don't really like fighting guys who move around that much like that, and William Skull being a Cuban fighter, like, I knew he was going to do that. And so was curious to see, you know, how Canelo would handle that. And, you know, he kept the ring off well, but that guy just, I felt like he didn't really want no part. And it makes for not as appetizing fight, but still got that fight in September with him and Crawford, so we'll see.
At the same time, Caleb Plant has expressed concern about Canelo getting older, emphasizing that he remains confident he can beat him if they face off. He pointed out that he would need fewer adjustments to do so, hinting that Canelo is losing strength with each.
As soon as we fought, the next day I'm like, man, if we fight again, I'm gonna beat him. Yeah, you know, that's just that's how I feel, you know. I feel like, okay, a few minor adjustments, get the job done.
Eager to face the best, Caleb Plant expressed his desire to take on anyone after the winner of Canelo versus Crawford. He also asserted that the fight between Canelo and Crawford is the best stylistic matchup, adding that Crawford is nothing like William Skull and won't fight in that manner at all.
I think it's a stylistic matchup, you know, and William Skull don't fight nothing like Terence Crawford. So we're not going to see the same type of fight come September. I think we're going to see a great fight, real good fight.
You and Terence have always had like a good relationship, but if he makes Canelo come off the titles, is he on your radar then in the division?
Yeah, I mean, all the top super middleweights are on my radar. You know, I want to face the best, and you know, a lot of fighters say that, but I don't feel like a lot of them have shown and proved that. I feel like I've shown and proved that.
Sharing similar concerns, Frank Warren noted that Terence Crawford is going to pose a serious problem for Canelo. He recalled Canelo's fight with William Skull, pointing out that Canelo was getting caught at multiple moments. He praised Crawford for his exceptional fighting ability, hinting that a real threat is coming Canelo's way this time around.
He could give Canelo a real problem now. I think early on you could see, he's a mover, and he's obviously a very good boxer. I think to start with, when he's throwing his jab, it was falling short. They weren't emphatic punches, and I think as it slowed down, it was then connecting. You know, he was catching him. It makes that Crawford fight, I think, more an intriguing fight. You know, I always say a good big and a good little one, and he's got to give a lot of weight away, Crawford, but he could give Canelo a real problem now.
Backing Crawford to win this time, Frank noted that Crawford gave his last opponent, Madrimov, a tough time as well. He also observed that Crawford was closely watching Canelo's fight with William Skull, and believes he will capitalize on several aspects from that performance.
Oh, I'm sure he was. He was sitting ringside. He was sitting a couple of seats away from me ringside. You could see he liked it. No schmuck. He knows his boxing.
Regardless of the concerns, Canelo has begun his preparation ahead of the showdown with Crawford. As he enters the workout, he is welcomed by the Mexican anthem playing in the background, lifting his spirits for the biggest showdown of his career. Canelo is fine-tuning his skills to ensure he isn't lacking any strength this time around.
Eso. Venga. 5, venga. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Meanwhile, Canelo is not only showcasing his strength, but also working on his head movement. Fully engaged in training, he's making sure that once he steps into the ring with Crawford, his quick and agile head movement will help him evade punches and strengthen his defense to confuse his opponent. Joining Eddie Reynoso, Canelo Alvarez is hitting the pads harder than ever. Surrounded by a number of supporters closely watching his training sessions, he's backed by a strong presence in the gym. Regardless of how the fight unfolds, Canelo is pushing himself beyond his limits to deliver one of the greatest showdowns of his career for his fans. Furthermore, Eddie Reynoso is closely monitoring Canelo's head movement, testing the improvements he has made and highlighting how sharp he is now. Canelo looks more confident than ever, dismissing all claims of aging by delivering fresh, powerful punches in training.
Venga. Eso, otra vez. Ahí.
Canelo unleashes explosive punches, each one echoing through his home gym like thunder. With sweat pouring down, he powers through intense weightlifting sessions, sculpting raw strength. His fists fly with precision and fury, a storm brewing ahead of the Crawford clash. Every rep, every strike fuels his mission to silence the doubters and dominate the ring once again. Moving on, Canelo moves swiftly around the pad, his head slipping side to side with sharp precision. Each punch lands with force, echoing his intent to dominate the ring. He circles with purpose, mixing head movement and power in perfect rhythm. This is not just training, it's a statement of focus, speed, and refined aggression. At the same time, Canelo Alvarez has shared details of his diet and exercise routine, emphasizing how a healthier diet helps him stay in peak shape. He regularly eats fish and vegetables for lunch and dinner, while his breakfast typically consists of egg whites with ham. He described his diet plan as simple in structure but complex in its impact.
Este tipo de barras de proteína, digo, cuando tienes mucha hambre o estás ocupado, o como yo que me gusta jugar golf, creo que llevarte una en la mochila, en la maleta, y mientras que estás, que tiras en el intermedio, puedes comerte una como para salir los 18 hoyos, creo que es importante. Peanut butter, muy rica. No, mi dieta es muy fácil, complicada pero fácil. En la mañana son mis claritas de huevo con jamón. En la tarde mi pescado con verduras, en la noche igual lo que como, mi pescado con verduras, ese prácticamente.
Meanwhile, another widely acclaimed trait of Canelo is his iron chin, which has enabled him to withstand even the most powerful punches. In his recent training routine, he also shared his neck workout techniques, revealing how he conditions his body to become as tough as iron, making it easier to absorb heavy blows in the ring.
¿Para qué crees que son? ¿Para qué crees que son, tripa? Esta. ¿Eh?
While Canelo's intense preparations have many wondering just how powerful he'll be, Terence Crawford remains completely at ease heading into the fight. He confidently stated that he's studying every detail of Canelo's game and identifying the areas where he holds the advantage.
Skill for skill.
Right.
You know, because Canelo not the biggest 168 fighter. So I just started looking into it and I'm like, man.
Focused on showcasing his dominance in the ring, Terence appears confident as ever. Believing he has the edge over Canelo, he asserted that his skill set is superior and will make the difference when they face off. Meanwhile, Canelo has also sent a message to Terence Crawford, urging him to stand by his claims. Speaking to the media after his win over William Skull, Canelo revealed that he told Crawford during their face-off to deliver a great performance in the upcoming September bout, and warned him not to fight like Skull.
Just good luck. Thanks. I say to him, I hope we put a good show September. No, not like this. That's why I hate fighting like that, because you know, to put a good show, you need to have two fighters try to be able to try to win, do something, but it is what it is.
Joining the buzz surrounding this potential fight, Carl Frampton also shared his thoughts, strongly asserting that Crawford is going to beat Canelo. He emphasized that he had predicted this outcome long ago and was ridiculed and mocked for it at the time. Nevertheless, he remains confident in Crawford's ability to come out on top against Canelo.
I'm buzzing about the fight. I remember when Crawford beat Earl Spence, I was one of the first. Do you know what? I often say these statements and everyone laughs at me. Yeah. I say, is Nick Ball's going to beat Inouye? And now everyone's after Inouye's last performance, maybe they're not laughing so much, but I did say that Crawford beats Canelo, and that was when he beat Earl Spence. I got ridiculed and mocked and laughed at, but I believe he can beat Crawford, or he can beat Canelo. Yeah. I genuinely do. I think he's a very special fighter, as is Canelo, but I just do think Canelo's maybe slightly on the slide. Canelo's slide, by the way, is still a lot to beat some of the most elite fighters in the world, but you know what I'm trying to say. I think that Crawford, I fancy Crawford in that fight. I genuinely think he can win on points.
Furthermore, Carl went on to break down the fight, noting that Canelo's footwork would be slower, giving him few opportunities to land clean shots on Crawford. In contrast, he remained firm in his belief that Crawford would not only hurt Canelo, but ultimately emerge victorious in this mega fight.
Yeah, outside, stay on the outside, and he can do that. We all know Crawford can do that, and he can box his way to, you know, landslide points victories, but potentially may not be the most exciting fight in the world. I think that Canelo's feet are slower than they used to be, and trying to hunt Crawford down may be an issue for him. But yeah, I genuinely, and I'm even more sure now than I was when I made the statement then. Not that I'm sure, I wouldn't be surprised by any result, but I do genuinely think that Crawford has more than a chance to win this fight.
On the other hand, Canelo is leaving no stone unturned in his training sessions, refining every possible skill. He can be seen fine-tuning his footwork and even incorporating salsa-style movements, making it clear that his footwork should not be underestimated ahead of the showdown. In the heart of his training camp, Canelo Alvarez is sharpening his counterattacks and tightening his defense with laser focus. Every move is calculated, every dodge purposeful, as he prepares to turn his opponent's aggression into his own advantage. With swift reflexes and precise timing, Canelo is crafting a defensive wall and a counterpunching storm that could define the fight. Canelo Alvarez is turning into a defensive beast and a counterpunching nightmare. With lightning-fast reflexes and bone-crushing precision, he's perfecting the art of striking back harder than he's hit. Every slip, every pivot is a warning. Canelo isn't just preparing to defend, he's preparing to punish. This is a fighter fine-tuning destruction, ready to flip Crawford's offense into his downfall. Amid the buildup, Rolly Romero has taken shots at Terence Crawford, asserting that weight divisions exist for a reason and jumping up 3 classes could be dangerous for him. He also claimed that despite the pound-for-pound talent involved in this matchup, it's not something he particularly cares about.
They have weight divisions for a reason, right or wrong?
Right. Manny Pacquiao, bro.
Okay.
What's your take on Manny going up?
Manny Pacquiao didn't move up 3 weight divisions at once.
Okay.
To fight a pound for pound fighter.
Okay, so Canelo's got it. How does Canelo get it done, Rolly?
I don't know, man. It might be the boringest fight ever. It might be the best fight ever. I don't know. But I will tell you this. It's not a fight I truly care about.
Furthermore, Rolly went on to label Terence Crawford a boring fighter, suggesting that his bout with Canelo could turn out the same way. He criticized Crawford for lacking entertainment value outside the ring. Citing this as a major reason, Rolly emphasized that he doesn't care much about the fight, though he did admit that Crawford is a tremendous talent in the ring.
So I don't really care about who he fights. He's not really an entertaining fighter, so I don't really care who he fights. But I will tell you like this, he's a tremendous fighter. He's a great fighter, but he's not really entertaining outside the ring, or, you know, there's nothing that makes me want to be like, I can't wait to see the next Terence Crawford fight.
Damn.
Meanwhile, regardless of the ongoing speculations, Canelo Alvarez is fine-tuning his skills with intense focus. He's working to ensure his footwork is razor sharp, aiming to be more relentless and effective than ever in cutting off the ring and chasing down Crawford. And that wraps up today's deep dive into Canelo Alvarez's intense preparation. From sharpening his footwork to powering up his counterattacks, Canelo is pushing himself harder than ever. With the tension rising, this clash is shaping up to be one for the history books. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exclusive updates on his journey, because Canelo is gearing up to deliver something unforgettable.